Hello students. I did a demo in class and I want to do it here as well. It's how to organize all this this mess easily using Illustrator. Let's say I wanted to put all the blue shapes together in order on their own layer. Um, I could go through and click all of the blue shapes, select them and move them. But what I want to show is that Illustrator can do a lot of this work for you. There might be times when you have a very complicated drawing and you need to select all the same stroke, color, stroke weight, fill color, things like that. Illustrator does a great job doing it. It's smart. So I want to put all the blue shapes on their own layer, okay? So I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to call it blue shapes. Right. Now let's get them on that layer. The way I do it is select one of your blue shapes and then under select in the menu choose same fill color, and you can see Illustrator has grabbed all of those shapes with the same fill color. Now you see the little indicator thing here that shows you what's selected on the layer. Remember, all you have to do is grab this thing and move it up to whichever layer or down, depending on where your layer is. Just move it wherever you want and let go, and that has moved all the blue shapes onto their own layer. Okay, so now if I turn off blue shapes, all the blue shapes in the chaos layer are gone, and I want to organize these other ones. I can select all the objects with a pink outline by, like, if I select this one that has a pink outline and I go to select same stroke color. So that's selecting everything that has a pink outline. I can make a new layer and call it pink outline. Right? And then drag this little bean here up. And then, now regardless of what the fill color is, everything with a pink outline is on that layer. So I've got some pink shapes, some white shapes, and some black shapes, but they all have that pink outline. Turn that off, and this is what we're left with. Okay, I could do that with all these shapes, but I'm not going to right now. I want to show you some other stuff. So I'm going to use the blue shapes layer, and much like with how you can organize type by left justified, right justified, or centered, you can do that with objects as well in Illustrator. So I'm going to select everything. Command A, I selected all these. Another way to select all is to hold down Option and then click on the layer. We didn't go over that, I don't think, but if you click on the layer, it selects everything in that layer. Anyway, while you're holding Option, I mean. Okay, so I'm selecting all, and then I'm going to align these things. In the window, there's an align panel that looks like this. You can kind of guess what it's going to do. If I click this one, it's going to move everything over to the left and align it with the edge of the shapes. So I'll click that. See, and it kind of scooted everything over. If I click the right one, now that everything's over on that side, it's going to kind of do it on that side. But if I click the right one, it moves everything over to the right, just like text, right? So if I click this middle one, it aligns all the center points together, regardless of the size. And what it's doing is it's trying to find the average between, like, the spacing on all the shapes. It's just doing the math, Okay. Now underneath here, you've got these distribute objects. Distribute objects. If you click these, you should mess around with these, like vertically distribute. What it's doing is it's putting the equal amount of distance between these center points. If you notice, all these center points on the shapes have the same amount of space between them. What that does is it makes a jumbled mess, but it's just trying to average because these are all different sizes. You could visually just kind of eyeball spacing between things. You probably have to zoom out to do it because I have a lot of stuff. But, like, I'll just move these guys over so you can see it. Like these three shapes, I'm going to make a little overlap. So these are similar in size. If I were to select them and then choose vertically distribute center, then these are now perfectly evenly spaced. This technique is very handy when you're working with text. So if you're designing a business card, and then you've got a couple lines of text, like if I dragged out a copy of this and then put my, ellingson@cca.edu email, and then maybe I have another line of text that, says, learn Illustrator, right? And I wanted all of these to be on a business card. I might try to visually eyeball, and maybe even pull out some rulers and guides to kind of help align these things, and I'd have to nudge them over and get them just right. Well, instead of doing all that, I could just select them, align them to the left right here in this panel right here, and then distribute them evenly, and then it's now giving equal weight. This piece of text has 2 lines in it, and that's why it's giving me this big space in the middle. But anyway, mess with it and you'll see that it's powerful. And I use it every day in Adobe Illustrator. One of the great things about Illustrator is being able to move things around. Doing that with your selection tool is great, but when Illustrator does it using its internal computer brains, that's even cooler. And I recommend getting your mind around the align panel in Illustrator. Okay, have fun.